Hello everybody, Cobra Axis and Allies here. As you can see, I've got my Global 36 game set up on my custom-built table. Now, I don't know if some of you guys remember from the last video, but there used to be a pool table here that this upper piece sat on top of. But now, it is gone, and I have to use these tables, these folding tables, which worked out pretty well. But yeah, so as you can see, this is kind of the house multi-purpose room. So usually it's big open space, but right now it is being used for my Global 36 game. Now you can see that it isn't completely set up. We've really just got the neutrals on the board right now. But I just wanted to give you an overview kind of the table and my just setup, like when I play my game, what does it look like, and how you guys might want to set up your rooms, or if you're like me, a temporary room, kind of like what you might need to do that. So as you can see, first off, we got my table. Now this is, I got this idea from Sired Blood a long while back when I saw his Global 40 setup, and I said to myself, well, I don't have a lot of space either, and I needed a portable kind of table. So, and then of course it's been about 4 years since I originally had that idea, but now about a year ago, I built this with my friends in my high school shop class. Uh, so yeah, but you can see that its construction is really simple. This piece here is a 1/8 inch plywood with I think a 1x4 on top of it, which has had all these little holes drilled out. Not sure exactly the correct dimensions of these holes, about 4 inches, but they were basically just drilled into all these segments. You can see here, this is just a blank segment, so all those were cut out, these holes were drilled in, and then these pieces were just glued and then nailed into place so that they're not coming off. You can see right here, we've got these little pieces. Now, they help right now, lifting up the table and everything, but when this was originally built, it was built for my pool table, and because of these little lumps that it had, I had to lift it off the table, but now they're not really needed. They do add support though. That's definitely one thing, because that 1/8 inch plywood tends to bend if it's not supported from underneath or on top, but I couldn't fit anything on top. As you can see, we got the table, of course. But yeah, overall it's a really nice table. It's got a nice dark mahogany stain on top of it. And we've got these little latches here so that it can be disconnected and packed up and put into our garage. And it's been, sitting in there for about a half of a year now, and it holds up pretty nicely. I guess that's also a testament to the garage that it's stored in. But you can see from all these little cup holders, and I call them that because I originally kind of, not even really thinking about how I wanted to set up this game and anything, or everything, I just cut these in and just said to myself, well, people can put their cups in them, and it's just kind of like a nice little designated area. But you can see now that I've kind of requisitioned these, and in my older videos you could see that they were set up all the way. Of course, right now we're not at full capacity, but you can see we have got little slots for stuff like chips, markers, and again, these whole ideas, these little cup holders, this idea came from, I think, was it Panzer King? With the really awesome metal table, but that's definitely a dream of mine to get something like that, but this is a really nice temporary thing. And I may even, build, a table underneath of this if it's ever going to become one solid piece, just as kind of a callback to my original design. But yeah, in my earlier videos you could see, you can kind of see now that these cup holders, luckily enough, were the exact size of HBG's, their cup, or their coasters for cups. So I kind of treat these as like national bases, so it's a perfect place to kind of store your money if you decide to buy stuff, like not on your turn, maybe like beforehand if you like to be ready. You can put your units in here so they're ready. For Global 36, there's a lot of special units, like we're going to be playing with Colonials, so there's a lot of options for units that will just sit here that you can build. But the good thing is, too, is since it's low, no one's going to slip by and knock over your stack of money or your units in there. So yeah, overall, it's a really nice little place. And plus, I like this raised edge because, it adds something to lean on. And this table is pretty much, of course, the design is by me, but a lot of ideas and inspiration came from all the Axis and Allies players and Global War players out there in the community. But yeah, so we'll probably do a in-depth breakdown of like the board, what I'm going to be using, expansion sets and whatnot. But I guess in other words, since this is just a setup video, kind of what I use to play Global War, you can see we've got my my custom built box that contains everything, and it's a nice big box. You can see my hand there, and it's definitely heavy. Like, the box is probably maybe a little under 50 pounds, but with all the pieces in there, and I know it's plastic, but when you consider that each one of these is fully loaded and weighs about, I would say, 2 to 3 pounds, and there's a bunch of them. I'm not going to count them all right now, but it's got 2 handles, but I've found myself pretty much every time using 2 people to carry this around the house, especially because of doorways and what it'll do to them if I bang it up against the walls. But yeah, so then, and all these boxes are just from Walmart too. I think they're Plano somethings, but yeah, we've got these ones, and then we've got these nice little half, or I think they're thirds, and they work really well because you can see we got Spanish Civil War, and in there, basically you can fit 3 of these in. And when I originally designed this box, I didn't have any expansion sets, but I left room for about 6 of these boxes to sit in that little slot right there. So most of my expansion sets are in one of these boxes right now, just kind of in bags. But the ones that kind of need a separate little box, like you can see here, this is a General Hand Grenades Turkey at War set that he sent me as a prize a while ago. I painted it all since then. We've got, this is Manchukuo at War. This is an upcoming expansion set that I'm going to do a review on, and it is a custom one by someone in the Axis and Allies Facebook community, and I've modified the rules, and it's basically the Swedish-Finnish Federation, so that's a pretty cool one. Yeah. So next up, I guess lastly, we'll just show you the kind of the player aids corner, and we've got some Christmas decorations up. I'm going to have to probably take those down in the next day to set up the rest of the stuff over here, but this table is just where everything kind of goes to help us out, where we've got the big old magnetic board. It's about a 2 foot by 3 foot, and yeah, so that kind of fits everything that you need. I don't have all the magnets that are usually sitting up there for the nations, but we've just got enough to hold stuff on right now. And these are just, the Global 36 stuff that you're getting with the game. These are just the facility and technology charts. I got all of these sheets and my national reference sheets. You can see over there in that German box, printed at Staples on nice thick paper. So those look nice with the colors and everything. And I printed them as you can see, there's 4 pages on this one sheet, so it helps with space. And you're not gonna. It is a little small, but you're not gonna be reading this, every single time you take your turn. And in my experience, really not a lot of facilities get built in this game. I guess there's too much other things to do. See, just kind of sloppily, we've got the elite fighter squadrons, and of course, just a little bit of extra space. This is from the last game I played, but yeah, so just a little bit extra space for like writing. So you can see if I'm playing the nuclear expansion, I can write that down. That won't be played this turn. We got a little funny thing, the USSR subplane, which I'm probably going to be playing the USSR, so we'll have to see how that turns out. And yeah, and we can see from the last game here, we've got a Axis victory, and definitely a close game. And of course, we've got this a recent addition. Got the idea from General Hand Grenade to just have one of these paper organizers. I am gonna have to, basically this thick cardstock material that everything else is printed on. I want to get all my expansion sets printed on that too, because as you can see right now, I want them to be able to like stand upright. Plus, it lasts a lot longer. Like right now, my expansion sets are just printed on paper, and I just kind of throw them in there because they're too big to fit in these boxes. But what I want to do is get the whole lot of them printed up on this thick cardstock, and then what I do is I print it slightly smaller so that I can cut it down and it fits nicely within the box. So yeah. And I guess since we're just doing the setup and everything, I'll just show you the one last thing. It's just organization of my units. You can see that these boxes come with a ton of slots, so you can fit, you've got a lot of customizability, where, you know, with Germany, we have a ton of markers. You know, I had about 50 when I started this, like the about 50 to 60 of like just custom roundels. You can see the difference. Here's my custom roundel there, and then that shinier one's a historical board gaming. And I know they are backwards. Every time that I post something, someone says that they're backwards, and those are just the pictures I went with, and nobody that I've ever played with or me really realizes it until someone calls us out, and then we just say, who cares? And then we've got Vichy France, which is a bigger role in this game, and roundels for them too. These should be in there. But then we've got a slot for custom, not custom infantry, but, you know, specialist infantry. And then we have some of my painted infantry, along with, I showed you that video beforehand, some of these awesome custom painted infantry from Wolfsten Designs. And then we've just got the assortment of armor class units kind of going up the line to finally artillery. We've got my painted Africa Corps. We got aircraft all along this section, naval units, and then just some extra. I've got some. This is a new slot here that I've added. This is a Convoy Raiders, which came with the, what's it called? The Battle of the Atlantic. So I've got kind of a custom holder for all that. So yeah. But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little look. Oh, one last thing. That's my custom flight stands holder that I made. It's laser cut out of wood, and all these little flight stands are acrylic rods with laser cut acrylic in the bottom. It's all just glued together with a magnet on top. But yeah. So again, hope you guys enjoyed looking at my Global 36 setup, and I think to myself it's pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm gonna probably have a follow-up video maybe later on today that shows off what I'm kind of the briefing like last time, where we've got the expansion sets that I'm going to be playing with, the teams and everything. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys again. Cobra out.